Hey everybody, Unstable Gamer here, and welcome back to Marvel Future Revolution. In this video, we're going to talk about which characters best fit your playstyle, and we're going to look at each one of them. But first, before we do, if you're just now finding this channel, you want to stay up to date with everything Marvel Future Revolution, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out. All right, and welcome back. Just a quick reminder, all the links to my social media are in the description below, so definitely check that out. Twitter, Instagram, got Discord going too, so come and hang out. Let's have some fun with this game. So let's talk about this. As far as characters you should choose, I'm not going to tell you who you should choose. What I am going to do, though, is try and help you figure that out. So it really depends on what your playstyle is. Think of other MMOs that you've played, like World of Warcraft, maybe Final Fantasy 17. We choose our characters based on what we like to do in the game and how much fun we have in a game. So let's talk about a couple things first. How do you like to travel? And for that, I think really this game breaks it down into three different ways to travel: ground, swinging, and then air. So let's just talk about the different characters that way really quick. So as far as running on the ground, not being able to fly or anything, you have Captain America and you have Black Widow. When it comes to traversing through the different maps, it does take a little bit longer because you're not able to fly over some of the obstacles and things like that. Even if you kind of do auto-pathing, it's going to take you around even for the flyers. But when you control your heroes, you can go ahead and fly over obstacles. You can go to the top of buildings. You can't do that, obviously, with anybody who runs on the ground. So if that's a thing for you, then you're not going to want to choose Black Widow or Captain America. Maybe not even Spider-Man. Spider-Man, he swings, right? So you can't really go higher with your swinging or lower with your swinging. You are just kind of at one level and you are swinging through the city. One of the cool things, obviously, with Spider-Man is he just kind of hangs there upside down when you want to take a break or whatever. And you can do that, so that's kind of cool. All your flyers, though, so Star-Lord, Doctor Strange, Storm, Iron Man, Captain Marvel, obviously all your flyers. So if you like flying in the game, if you enjoy that, flying to the top of buildings, flying over obstacles, then those are some choices that you want to consider. All right, what else do we have to talk about other than traversing the map? So you have that. Let's talk about the trinity of MMOs, which is typically your tanks, your DPS, and then your healers. In this game, it's a little bit different. You do have tanks, you do have DPS, but you don't necessarily have healers. You have what I would call support. So if we want to take a look at that, let's talk about tanks. If you're one of those people in MMOs who like tanks, who like mixing it up and getting in early and drawing as much damage and attention to you as possible while your team whittles down that health bar, then your two heroes are going to be Captain America and Spider-Man. Now, Captain America, because he's your typical tank. He even has provoke, which is kind of a taunt. The only one in the game that has that kind of ability. So he's going to be your meat shield, your typical MMO meat shield. When we talk about Spider-Man, kind of more of an off-tank role, but still more a tank role. He's going to be your dodge tank. So how you build Spider-Man, he actually can work two different ways: DPS as well as tanking, because he can draw everybody towards him and then just dodge a bunch of the attacks. Plus, you have your dodge, which gives you some invulnerability for a certain period of time. So there's a lot of mechanics in there that really go into his survivability that makes him a good dodge tank. He could be a solo tank. He's really good as an off tank to draw some attention off your main tank while your main tank heals and does whatever they need to do. So if you like tanking, those guys are going to be your two option. Now, if we go into DPS, your DPS really is going to fall with Spider-Man. So he can be DPS or he can be dodge tank. So you have that as an option. You have Black Widow. Black Widow is great for DPS. She has quite a bit of support as well, but she does do quite a bit of DPS. She's very good in PvP. As far as the other two, I forgot to mention this. Captain America, he's okay in PvP. He doesn't really stand out. And when you take a look at these heroes and who you should choose, don't base it off PvE. Every single one of these heroes can get through PvE just fine and be able to beat the end guy, complete the storyline, and you can have fun that way. So play who you want. Have fun with the characters you feel you're going to have the most fun with. I suggest playing with all of them because it is fun and they all have different play styles. So PvE. When you talk about PvP though, that's where these heroes really start to stand out. Captain America, You got Spider-Man, Black Widow, who both do very well. Black Widow probably in the upper echelon of PvP heroes. She does fantastic in there, does a lot of damage. Her ultimate allows her to go invisible, so it breaks targeting and PvP, especially comes in handy with that dimensional duel, which is that one-on-one PvP. So Black Widow, great for DPS, great for PvP. You have Spider-Man as well. So those are your two DPS. Now, we can also go down to Iron Man and Captain Marvel for DPS as well. They both do very well there. A lot of AoE with Iron Man. You got Party Protocol that does very well. And he's kind of, I would say he's in the middle of the pack when it comes to DPS. Captain Marvel, up again. She's more towards the top of DPS as well. I believe she's got some single target as well as some AoE that comes in very handy. So your DPS really are going to be those four heroes. Spider-Man, Black Widow, Iron Man, and Captain Marvel. Now, when it comes to support, you have three heroes that do really well with support. You have Star-Lord, you have Doctor Strange, and you have Storm. Does that mean they can't do DPS? No, they can do quite a bit of DPS, but a lot of their kit revolves around support. So, like with Star-Lord. With Star-Lord, he's got his chill shot abilities that help with some crowd control. He's got his fire shots or flame shots that do a fair amount of DPS. He does support his team by refilling the stamina bar a little bit quicker. So there's some really good support functions there. And everybody here, every hero has some sort of support ability. But when you kind of get down to it, as far as who really helps with the team and with crowd control, it's these three heroes. You have Doctor Strange. His ultimate's fantastic, raises everybody up. Also, he can bring everybody into one location, and then you just have some of your heroes just go ahead and do massive AoE damage on a number of targets that he's able to clump together. You've got Storm that does a lot of AoE damage as well. She's got chill, she's got shock. So she fills that support role there very well. Also, she's got some great survivability with a shield that she has that gives her, 4 seconds of invulnerability, essentially. So those are going to be your 3 for support. So it's really going to, again, depend on your playstyle and what you feel you have the most fun with in games. For me, specifically, what I started out with Spider-Man because Spider-Man is very versatile. I could go dodge tank. I could go DPS. He does very well in PvE as well as up towards the top when it comes to PvP. So he's very well rounded. He does well in a couple different areas. So he's my main right now. When I was in soft launch, I did main Star-Lord. Had a lot of fun with him. He fell down a little bit on that ladder when it comes to PvP. Did great in PvE though. He did great in a support role when I'm going into raids or when I'm going into blitz. He does great there as well. So there you go. There's the roster. There's your tanks. There's your support. There's your DPS. There's your flyers, and those who run in order to get to each location. So there's a couple different things there to help you kind of figure out which hero would be best for you. I'm very interested. Who did you choose to play? Who is your main? And how much fun are you having with this game? Because I'm having a blast. I've been playing since soft launch. I did start with a fresh account. I do have an alliance that I created. And I'm starting all over. And I'm having as much fun as I did day one. So definitely let me know your thoughts. Let me know how much fun you're having in the game. Who did you choose? Who are you maining? And what are your thoughts? And what tips do you have to help people kind of decide who they want to play as well? All right, everybody. That's what I had for you. As always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comments section below. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.